El informe, elaborado por 3 profesionales, ha dictaminado que él no abusó de su hija adoptiva Dylan, de 7 años. Los mismos profesionales le recomendaron a la actriz que se sometiera a un tratamiento psicológico.
¿Usted abusó de su hija Dylan?
Of course not. I mean, this is just so crazy. This is something that has been thoroughly looked at 25 years ago by all the authorities, and everybody came to the conclusion that it was untrue. And that was the end, and I've gone on with my life. And now, for it to come back now, I mean, my God, it's a terrible thing to accuse a person of. You know, I mean, I'm a man with a family and my own children, and you know, so of course it's upsetting.
¿Qué puede producir el odio en una familia?
Anything. I mean, you can go back to Aeschylus, Euripides, you know, Chekhov, Shakespeare. Anything can produce hate anywhere. That is the stuff of drama. That's death of a salesman, and you know, I mean, anything.
¿Y usted se siente en este momento en una situación en la cual es víctima de algún odio?
Certainly, I feel bad that I'm accused of a terrible, terrible thing. It hurts me, it hurts my family. Something that was judged by people 25 years ago, investigated by 2 separate sources 25 years ago, and found to be completely untrue, and now has come back. So of course I feel, you know, bad about that. I mean, it's a terrible thing to happen to a person, to be accused of such an awful thing, and you know, and when you have been investigated for it and found completely innocent, and then suddenly it rears up its ugly head again, you know, sure, you feel distressed.
Usted hizo hace muchos años una película sobre la lista negra en la época de McCarthy, y quizá lo que está pasando ahora en algunos casos es similar, en el sentido de que frente a cualquier acusación el acusado se transforma en culpable de inmediato y tiene que demostrar que es inocente. ¿Usted cree que hay de vuelta, desde otro punto de vista, no el de McCarthy porque era político, pero que hay una especie de cacería de brujas con ese tema?
I think in any situation where anyone is accused of something unjustly, this is a sad thing. I mean, I think everybody would agree with that. There's no one, you know, everyone wants justice to be done. If there's something like the Me Too movement now, you root for them. You want them to bring to justice these terrible harassers, these people that do all these terrible things. And I think that's a good thing. What bothers me is that I get linked in with them. I mean, people who have been accused by 20 women, 50 women, 100 women of abuse and abuse and abuse, and I, who was only accused by one woman in a child custody case, which was looked at and proven to be untrue, I get lumped in with these people. Now, you know, as I say, I'm a big advocate of the Me Too movement. I feel when they find people who harass innocent women and men, it's a good thing that they're exposing them. But, you know, it's funny, I should be the poster boy for the Me Too movement, because I have worked in movies for 50 years. I've worked with hundreds of actresses, hundreds, and not a single one, big ones, famous ones, ones starting out, have ever, not a single one ever suggested any kind of impropriety at all. I've always, you know, had a wonderful record with them. I've created wonderful roles for many women. There have been 60, 65 award nominations for the women that have worked in my movies. I've used hundreds of women, I mean, over 200 women in the crew of my movies, behind the camera, in positions making the movies for years, hundreds of them. And going back 50 years, we've always paid them the exact equal amount as we've paid the men. We've been, so we have a wonderful record. So I'm very much on their side and in their corner and feel part of that. I mean, I'm in principle and in spirit completely in favor of their bringing to justice genuine harassers. Now, if someone is innocent and they get swept up in the, you know, that's very sad for the person. I think that's unjust. But otherwise, I think, you know, it's a very good thing to expose, you know, harassment.
Ahora, es curioso cómo esto ha calado en algún sector del público. Cuando nosotros entramos a New York anteayer, el tipo que estaba en migraciones, el que sellaba los pasaportes, se enteró que íbamos a entrevistarlo y dice, háganle las preguntas duras, lo que nadie se anima a preguntar. El tipo de migraciones, que no creo que haya visto muchas de sus películas, quizá ninguna. Es algo que se instaló mucho en la gente. Yo pregunto esto, el hecho de que usted en un momento se haya casado con Sun Yi, haya empezado a convivir con ella, que en ese momento podía ir un poco en contra del sentido común americano, ¿debe haber ayudado a que esta acusación tomara cuerpo?
I don't know. I can't speculate on that, so I don't know. I know that Sun Yi and I, you know, fell in love, I don't know, 25 years ago, and it's been a very wonderful relationship for both of us. We got married, and everyone said, well, you're much older than her, and she's much, you know, but it's been a wonderful marriage, and we've been very, very happy. We've been together, we've been married now for 20 years, and we have two wonderful daughters, one going to college, the other one that we adopted two girls, and one goes to college and one is almost ready to go to college. And we've had, you know, a very loving relationship, and it's been great. I mean, both of us would not trade a moment of it. It's just been a delight. So, you know, I can't speculate beyond that. I can only tell you what it's like for the two of us.
¿Usted cree que parte de lo que le está pasando ahora es que Hollywood le está cobrando su independencia?
No, I think Hollywood has always been very generous to me. I was very lucky all the time in my career. First, when I started, the film critics chose to emphasize what I was good at and not dwell on what I was bad at. And Hollywood was always very nice to me, and even though I was not, I lived in New York, I never lived in Hollywood, I never joined the Motion Picture Academy, I never went to those affairs or anything, they still treated me equally, and they nominated me when they thought I did good work. They were always very nice. I mean, I have a lot of, you know, people think because I teased Hollywood and Annie Hall and my movies that I don't like Hollywood. That was never the case. I couldn't live in Hollywood. That's a different thing. I don't like the sun. I don't like having to have an automobile to go every place. But I have many friends in Hollywood.